Ever find yourself playing a tabletop RPG and you come across like a magic item and it just like totally changes how you think about the game?
Mm-hmm.
Not just because it's like super powerful, but like it really makes you kind of rethink your character.
Yeah.
And the choices they make.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Like I'm not just talking about a +1 sword that makes you hit harder,
Right.
but something that really makes you think differently
Yeah.
about your character.
Yeah, I actually had an experience like that recently in a session where,
Oh, really?
yeah, the party found what seemed like a pretty simple amulet.
Uh-huh.
It didn't offer any combat bonuses or anything obvious, but it constantly whispered these like cryptic prophecies and warnings.
Whoa.
And it really shook things up
Yeah.
because suddenly we were second guessing every decision we were making,
Yeah.
trying to decipher the amulet's messages and
Yeah.
figure out what fate had in store for us.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example of what we're diving into today. We've got this great article from LitRPG Reads by Emily Thorne.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Top D&D Magic Items That Will Transform Your Role-Playing and Bring Your Campaign to Life. And it's just packed with ideas about how to use magic items to like create those kinds of really memorable moments.
Yeah.
And just elevate your role-playing game, you know?
Yeah. I'm excited to dig into this.
Yeah.
Thorne's work always makes me think about new possibilities. And this whole idea of using magic items as a way to drive role-playing and storytelling
Right.
is something I've been wanting to explore
Yeah.
more in my own games.
One of the things that really struck me in the article
Yeah.
was how Thorne emphasizes like the importance of connecting magic items to a character's backstory. You know, she argues that these items can become
Yeah.
much more than just like tools or weapons.
Yeah.
They can act as like tangible representations of a character's past,
Right.
their motivations or struggles.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. When a magic item has a personal connection to a character,
Right.
it's no longer just like a random loot drop, you know?
Yeah.
It becomes a part of their identity,
Yeah.
a source of strength,
Uh-huh.
or maybe even a reminder of past failures.
And Thorne gives some really good examples to kind of like illustrate this point.
Okay.
She talks about items like the Ancestor's Amulet,
Oh.
which could like hold the spirit of a revered ancestor
Okay.
or grant powers that are linked to a character's lineage,
Interesting.
or the Fallen Shield, which might be like a tarnished heirloom representing a past mistake that the character's trying to atone for.
It's really fascinating how these items can act as catalysts for
Yeah.
character growth.
Right.
Imagine like a paladin wielding the fallen shield
Right.
every time they use it.
Uh-huh.
They're not just defending themselves,
Right.
they're confronting their past,
Yeah.
reaffirming their commitment to redemption. It adds a whole new layer of depth to their actions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not about mechanics anymore.
Right.
It's about the emotional weight
Yeah.
that the item carries. And Thorne even suggests that this connection can be established like in collaboration
Okay.
with the players, so they can contribute to the item's like history and significance.
Yeah. That collaborative approach is so important.
Yeah.
It empowers the players to be active participants, you know,
Yeah.
in shaping their characters' destinies.
Right.
Instead of just being handed a predefined item, they're invested in its creation, its meaning,
Right.
its role in their story.
And it's not just about individual character development either. Thorne also explores how magic items can be used to create
Oh, okay.
compelling interpersonal dynamics within a gaming group.
Yes.
Like, she talks about items like the fractured gem, which is divided into pieces,
Right.
with each granting a different power when they're united. So it immediately creates a reason for the party to work together, to negotiate, to maybe even compete
Right.
for control over the individual pieces.
Interesting.
Or the shimmering diadem, which offers glimpses of possible futures.
Okay.
Imagine the discussions and debates
Yeah.
that would erupt as the party tries to interpret those visions and decide
Right.
which path to take.
Yeah, that's where the real role-playing magic happens.
Right.
Yeah.
When the items themselves become catalysts for those kinds of interactions, those moments of tension and collaboration.
And Thorne takes this idea even further
Oh, wow.
by introducing the concept of magic items that pose moral dilemmas.
Okay.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
She argues that certain magic items can force characters to confront like ethical complexities,
Right.
challenging their beliefs,
Yeah.
pushing them to make difficult choices
Right.
with potentially far-reaching consequences.
The examples she gives are incredibly thought-provoking.
Oh yeah.
She mentions the Shadow Talisman, which grants stealth and power, but at the cost of corrupting the user's soul,
Oh wow.
drawing them closer to shadowy forces.
Mm-hmm.
It raises all sorts of questions.
Right.
How far are you willing to go for power?
Yeah.
Can you resist the item's corrupting influence? What happens if you succumb to its darkness?
It's not just about winning the fight anymore.
Yeah.
It's about wrestling with the implications
Yeah.
of your actions, the potential cost of using such power.
Right.
And then there's the Amulet of Predestination, which offers glimpses of the future, but alters fate with each viewing. It forces the party to confront the consequences of their choices, to consider the ripple effects of trying to manipulate destiny.
It's like playing a high-stakes game of chess with the universe.
Totally.
Every move you make changes the board,
Yeah.
and you have to live with the outcome.
Yeah, but it's not all doom and gloom.
Right.
Thorne also spends a good portion of the article discussing how to create unique role-playing items that are fun and engaging and even whimsical at times.
This is where her creativity really shines.
Yeah.
She delves into the concept of sentient items. Items that have like personalities and quirks.
Right.
They can interact with the party
Uh-huh.
and even become characters in their own right.
Yeah.
Imagine a sword that's constantly bragging about its past victories, or a shield that's overly cautious and tries to prevent the party from
Oh, wow.
entering dangerous situations.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
It's like having a mischievous imp or a wise old owl
right.
accompanying you on your adventures.
She provides some great examples like the bravado blade, which thrives on compliments and becomes more powerful when its ego is stroked.
Right.
And then the cautious guard, which constantly whispers warnings and tries to steer the party towards the safest path.
It injects such a wonderful sense of unpredictability into the game.
Right.
You never know how these items are going to react or
Yeah.
what they might say. And it creates opportunities for these hilarious role-playing moments.
And she doesn't stop there.
Oh, wow.
Thorne also explores the concept of evolving items, items that grow and change alongside the characters, reflecting their progress and choices.
Right.
Imagine like a simple dagger that gradually transforms into a legendary blade
Yeah.
as the character accomplishes heroic deeds, or a cloak that gains new powers as the character explores different environments
Right.
or masters new skills.
It's a fantastic way to create a sense of shared growth and accomplishment.
Yeah.
It's not just the character leveling up.
Right.
It's their equipment evolving alongside them.
Right.
Becoming a tangible representation of their journey.
And let's not forget about the role of world building. Thorne argues that magic items can be really powerful tools for connecting players
Right.
to the history, culture, and lore
Right.
of the campaign setting.
She suggests creating items that are deeply rooted in the world's mythology, its ancient civilization, its forgotten secrets.
Imagine finding a compass that points toward a lost dwarven city, or a harp that plays melodies
Oh, wow.
from an elven court long gone.
These items aren't just objects, they're keys that unlock hidden chapters of the world's history.
And they can be used to create quests,
Right.
introduce new factions,
Wow.
or even reveal hidden truths
Yeah.
about the world itself.
It's amazing how a single magic item can just like spawn all these different narrative possibilities.
Yeah.
But Thorne doesn't just stop at giving examples.
Yeah.
She also gives like a bunch of practical advice for creating your own custom role-playing magic items.
She really encourages GMs to think outside the box. You know, move beyond the traditional stat bonuses and consider the narrative potential
Right.
of each item.
One suggestion I found really interesting was this idea of brainstorming like narrative threads before even thinking about specific mechanics.
Okay.
So like, what kind of story do you want to tell with this item? What themes or emotions do you want to evoke?
Right.
Once you have that foundation, the mechanics can flow naturally from the narrative.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like building a house, you know.
Right.
You start with the blueprint, the overall vision, and then you fill in the details.
Exactly.
And she also emphasizes the importance of collaborating with your players, involve them in the item creation process. Ask them what kind of items would resonate with their characters, what kind of stories they would like to explore.
It not only makes the players feel more invested in the game, but it also taps into their creativity.
Right.
And often leads to these like unexpected and brilliant ideas.
I love that collaborative spirit.
Yeah.
It turns item creation into a shared adventure.
Right.
A way for everyone to contribute to the world's richness and complexity.
And speaking of complexity,
Okay.
Thorne doesn't shy away from the potential challenges of incorporating these types of role-playing focused magic items into a campaign.
It's true.
She acknowledges it requires a careful balancing act.
Right.
You want the items to feel special and impactful,
Yeah.
but without overshadowing other aspects of the game
Right.
or making players feel overpowered.
She offers some really practical tips
Okay.
for achieving that balance. Like, for example, she suggests tying the item's powers to specific conditions or limitations.
Okay.
Maybe the sword's full power
Yeah.
can only be unleashed
Right.
during a full moon, or the amulet's visions come at a price, draining the user's energy or clouding their judgment.
Those limitations not only prevent the items from becoming too overpowered, but also add an element of risk and reward, forcing the players to think strategically about when and how to use their abilities.
Thorne also highlights the importance of weaving the items into the plot in meaningful ways. Don't just hand them out as random loot drops.
Right.
Make them integral to the story, to the characters' goals, to the challenges they face.
Maybe the party needs to find a specific item to unlock a hidden passage.
Right.
Or perhaps a cursed item is slowly corrupting one of the characters.
Right.
Forcing the party to confront the consequences of their actions.
Those kinds of narrative hooks
Yeah.
ensure that the items are more than just trinkets in a backpack.
Right.
They become driving forces in the story, shaping the party's choices
Right.
and pushing the narrative forward in unexpected ways.
Thorne also suggests incorporating flaws or quirks into the items to add personality and create opportunities for role-playing.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's those imperfections
Yeah.
that make the items feel more real,
Yeah.
more memorable.
Right.
Imagine a sentient sword that's prone to fits of jealousy when it's not being used,
Right.
or a magical cloak that occasionally transports its wearer
Right.
to random locations.
Those kinds of quirks can lead to hilarious and unexpected moments, injecting a dose of humor and chaos into the game.
And they also provide opportunities for the players to get creative, to problem solve, to role play their way out of tricky situations.
Thorne even suggests involving the players in determining the item's quirks.
Oh, wow.
It's a fantastic way to personalize the items to make them feel like extensions of the characters themselves.
But beyond the mechanics and the narrative integration, Thorne also emphasizes the importance of rewarding players for engaging with these role-playing focus items in meaningful ways.
She suggests offering bonus experience points, inspiration points, or even in-game advantages for players who use their items creatively, who role-play their interactions with sentient items, who make difficult choices when confronted with moral dilemmas.
It encourages the players to go beyond the surface level,
Yeah.
to really delve into the narrative potential of the items.
It's a great way to create a positive feedback loop. Where the players are rewarded for their creativity and engagement, which in turn inspires them to invest even more in the game.
Thorne also talks about the importance of using magic items to shape the overall tone and atmosphere of the campaign.
She suggests that the choice of items can have a profound impact on the feel of the game. Do you want a lighthearted, whimsical campaign? Introduce items that are quirky, humorous, even silly.
Want a darker, more serious campaign with a focus on moral ambiguity? Choose items with tragic backstories, unpredictable effects, and a hint of danger.
It's like choosing the right soundtrack for a movie.
Totally.
The music sets the mood, creates the atmosphere, enhances the emotional impact of the scenes.
Magic items can do the same for a role-playing game.
Thorne offers some specific examples. For a whimsical campaign, She suggests items like the Hat of Illusions,
Okay.
which can conjure harmless illusions,
Wow.
or the Boots of Springing, which allow the wearer to jump incredible distances.
For a darker campaign.
Right.
She suggests items like the Mask of Shadows, which grants stealth,
Okay.
but whispers dark secrets to the wearer. Or the Amulet of Lost Souls,
Okay.
which offers power in exchange for sacrificing memories.
It's amazing how even seemingly simple items
Yeah.
can take on such different meanings.
Depending on the context.
Right.
On the overall tone of the campaign.
And Thorne encourages game masters to get creative, to think beyond the traditional tropes
Uh-huh.
and come up with their own unique items
Right.
that perfectly fit the world they've created.
She suggests using common everyday objects with hidden depths.
Okay.
Imagine a seemingly ordinary mirror
Yeah.
that reveals glimpses of alternate realities,
Wow.
or a humble quill that can write spells into existence.
Those kinds of items add an element of surprise and wonder to the game.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a powerful sword.
Right.
It's about discovering the magic
Uh-huh.
hidden in the mundane,
Right.
the extraordinary within the ordinary.
And Thorne provides like a wealth of resources and tools
Yeah.
to help game masters achieve that sense of wonder.
Uh-huh.
She includes sample item descriptions,
Okay.
random generation tables,
Right.
and even prompts for collaborative brainstorming sessions with players.
She also highlights the importance of world building,
Right.
of making sure that the magic items feel integrated
Yeah.
into the world's history, its cultures,
Right.
its legends.
She suggests creating items that are tied to specific locations,
Right.
factions, or historical events. Imagine a sword forged by dwarven smiths
Uh-huh.
in the heart of a volcano,
Wow.
or a staff imbued with the magic of an ancient elven forest.
Those items become more than just objects.
Yeah.
They become artifacts.
Right.
Pieces of the world's story
Right.
waiting to be discovered.
And Thorne encourages game masters to go beyond simply describing the items.
Right.
She urges them to think about how the items feel,
Uh-huh.
how they smell.
Yeah. How they sound.
Do they radiate warmth or cold? Do they hum with power or whisper secrets?
Those sensory details help to bring the items to life, to make them feel more real and tangible to the players.
And they create opportunities for immersive role-play,
Right.
where the players can truly connect
Uh-huh.
with the items and the world they inhabit.
It's clear that Thorne is passionate about the potential
Yeah.
of magic items to enhance the role-playing experience.
Right.
And she encourages both game masters and players to embrace that potential, to experiment, to have fun,
Yeah.
and to create truly unforgettable stories.
This article has been such a fascinating exploration
Yeah.
of the creative possibilities of magic items.
Thorne really delves into the nuances of how these items can be so much more
Right.
than just stat boosts.
I think one of the key takeaways for me
Yeah.
is the importance of intentionality.
Uh-huh.
It's about thinking about the why behind each item,
Right.
about how it connects to the characters, the story, the world.
It's not about randomly throwing in powerful artifacts.
Right.
It's about weaving them into the narrative tapestry in a way that feels meaningful and purposeful.
And Thorne emphasizes that this approach
Uh-huh.
isn't just limited to official D&D materials.
Right.
It can be applied to any role-playing system,
Yeah.
any genre, any setting.
It's all about embracing the power of imagination,
Right.
of using magic items as a springboard for creativity and storytelling.
I'm already starting to think about how I can incorporate some of these ideas into my own games.
Yeah, it's inspiring to think about all the possibilities, how
Yeah.
these ideas can be applied, not just to D&D,
Right.
but to any game where you want to add depth and intrigue.
Thorne has really opened up a new way of thinking about magic items for me.
Yeah.
It's about seeing them not just as mechanical tools,
Right.
but as narrative devices,
Mm-hmm.
as catalysts for character development, for plot twists, for emotional resonance.
She even touches on the idea of using magic items as like a form of world building,
Oh, really?
not just by connecting them to existing lore,
Right.
but by creating items that raise questions about the world, that hint at like hidden histories. or unresolved conflicts.
That's fascinating.
It's almost like planting seeds of mystery.
Right.
Giving players a reason to dig deeper.
Yeah.
To explore the world beyond just like the immediate quest or adventure.
Imagine finding an amulet that radiates faint magical energy. But its purpose remains unclear.
Right.
It could be a key to unlocking a forgotten tune.
Right.
A source of ancient power. Or perhaps a dangerous curse waiting to be unleashed.
That sense of mystery can be so compelling.
Yeah.
It draws players in,
Right.
makes them want to unravel the secrets, to
Yeah.
piece together the puzzle.
And it gives the game master so much room to improvise.
Right.
To create new stories and adventures that emerge organically from the player's curiosity.
Thorne also emphasizes the importance of using magic items to create memorable moments. Those scenes that will stick with players long after the game has ended.
It's not just about finding a +5 sword.
Right.
It's about how that sword was acquired.
Yeah.
The challenges overcome. The sacrifices made.
Maybe it was a gift from a grateful villager.
Right.
A reward for defeating a fearsome monster. Or a legacy passed down from a long-lost ancestor.
It's those stories,
Yeah.
those emotional connections that make the item truly special.
She talks about creating items that are not just powerful,
Right.
but also beautiful, strange, even unsettling.
Okay.
Items that evoke strong reactions from players
Yeah.
that make them laugh, gasp, or even feel a shiver down their spines.
Like the example she gives of a mask that shifts its features to reflect the wearer's emotions.
Right.
Or a cloak woven from moonlight that grants invisibility,
Wow.
but whispers secrets in forgotten languages.
Those are items that beg to be role-played,
Yeah.
that demand to be woven into the narrative. They
Yeah.
become more than just objects. They become extensions of the characters, reflections of their personalities, their desires, their fears.
This deep dive has really made me appreciate
Yeah.
the depth and potential of magic items in role-playing games.
It's not just about finding cool loot.
Right.
It's about creating meaningful experiences, forging lasting memories,
Right.
and telling stories that will stay with players
Yeah.
long after the dice have stopped rolling.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Emily Thorne has given us a lot to think about. And I, for one, am eager to put some of these ideas into practice
Yeah.
in my next game.
A huge thanks to Emily Thorne for this insightful article,
Yes.
and to LitRPG Reads for publishing it.
Absolutely.
It's a valuable resource for anyone
Right.
looking to add more depth and creativity to
Yeah.
their role-playing games.
And for those interested in exploring more of Thorne's work,
Yeah.
you can find her tabletop RPG AI generators at LitRPG Adventures Workshop.
Oh, cool.
They're a fantastic tool for sparking creativity
Yeah.
and generating unique ideas.
And be sure to check out LitRPG Reads
Yes.
for more great articles and resources like this one.
Absolutely.
They're a fantastic source of information and inspiration
Right.
for anyone passionate about tabletop RPGs.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you. If you could design a magic item
Right.
specifically for your character or campaign,
Okay.
what would it be?
Yeah.
What kind of story would it tell? Share your ideas in the comments below.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see what you come up with.
And until next time,
Yes.
happy gaming.